you've said you support the fair tax. Do you have a sense of what level that would need to be at to sustain?
Some have suggested close to 20%, 17%. I think the low numbers come down to about 13%. I suspect it would end up in about the middle of that range, about 17%.
About 17%. And would that include things like large purchases, homes, cars, things like that? 17% on a $200,000 home.
And consumer items. I don't believe the fair tax proposal would cover homes. I believe it would cover cars and other vehicles.
Is that a regressive tax in your eyes?
No.
Why is that?
I think a regressive tax is one that affects the poor disproportionately. This is one that everyone pays. The rich will pay more because they make more and they spend more, but everyone will pay something.
And you've said that part of your rationale for that is that the poor aren't paying income taxes at this point, and then they would all have sort of some flesh in the game, I guess.
Well, everyone would have a stake in making sure that their tax dollars aren't wasted by the federal government.
Does that end up being a net increase for low to middle income taxpayers?
On someone who's not paying any tax at all,
40%.
Would subsequently be paying some tax, then yeah, if you're moving from zero tax to some tax, then yes, that's an increase.
Okay. And but you think it's reasonable to do that?
Yeah, especially when you consider that we have all sorts of taxes that are imposed within our system that end up getting passed on to consumers anyway. And the fair tax would replace so many of those taxes that go along the way that end up getting passed along to the consumer, that I think as consumers, those middle and lower income taxpayers who would perhaps be paying taxes for the first time would have that tax burden substantially offset by the fact that fewer other taxes would be passed along to them as end consumers. There is also a part of the fair tax proposal that would allow for a rebate or a prebate, as they sometimes call it, where they would factor out for low-income individuals what they would need in order to offset that portion of their fair tax that would end up going to basic necessities like food staples and things like that.
Okay. One of